louder with the crowd, and here we come, right back where we started from. Louder with the crowd.
Oh, that's surprising alarm. I don't know if you know this. Occasionally, we actually do have non-branded drinkware. So when I drive here, and this is a non-branded tumbler, so please don't sue me, Blender Bottle. We have a lot to get to today. It's a big day. It's a fun. You know what? One of my favorite days. And the reason why is because we have Gay William in studio.
Ooh. Oh, that's right.
Gay William in studio to talk about Kevin Bacon wants to touch your kids. Emotionally, with drag queens who touch them physically. So we'll be talking about that. Not only that, but what's going on now with drag shows where they will not host them unless they are with your children. Sorry, this matters. This is legislative. The most important topic, I think, today that we're going to be getting into, and you cannot let this happen. So please, hit the like button right now. Share this show if you can, because Fauci and Trudeau, and of course their complicit media, are trying to say that they never actually advocated for lockdowns or forced people to get vaccines. The only way the left wins long-term is if you let that go. It's, let's take the high road. No. We have to remember it, and you just like rubbing a dog's face in their own feet. You got to go, no, remember this right here? Remember the lockdown? Remember the vaccine mandate? Remember the black face? There you go. Love it. Take it. That's what you have to do. And we'll also be talking about Donald Trump and DeSantis and the attacks that have ramped up. I know some of you are interested in that. I'm not so interested in that, but I know you are. So, Gerald A., how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. It's a post-sip world, my friend.
Post
you
what?
You didn't do your sip.
I didn't do my sip because Nick's like, if he does that sip one time, I swear to God, I'm going to walk out.
Really?
I'm going to walk out.
I didn't know that was... Did he become an Irishman?
There was a little bit of... He is. He is actually Irish.
I am.
There was a little bit of Dane Cook in there. That wasn't... I swear to God, if you take a sip, I'm going to walk out. Ooh, I hate when he takes a sip. I hate when he goes sip. Ooh, no sippy poo.
Sip the shocker.
How do you do Dane Cook?
Rage.
Yes, pretty much.
Someone phone here? Someone vibrated?
By the way, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I didn't ask you. I normally, but I was so thrown off by the non-sip.
Oh, I'm great. You know what I love is I love that now my little boy just loves wrestling. And he comes up.
Yeah.
Well, that could be good or bad. That could go either way.
Well, as long as he doesn't go into it professionally.
Well,
but he does a
that's
little.
Not what I meant, but okay.
He does a little Macho Man Randy Savage now, where he comes up, he goes, wrestling? And I go, yeah, what do you want to do? He goes, oh, yeah. And I go, ooh, yeah, you're the cream of the crop. Ooh, he goes, oh, yeah. And he throws himself in the bed.
Wait till he goes. This is when you get concerned, when he goes, Sandusky?
Nope. Moving on.
You pen? What? Penn State? I don't even know what it was. All right. So let me ask you this question of the day. What is your favorite COVID conspiracy theory that came true? You can comment below. And you've already heard him, but you love him. He has his own theme song because he is in Daytona Beach, Florida on rollerblades, the Hilton Oceanfront, May 12th. And then, of course, he is also May 19th, 20th at Hyenas in Dallas. Go to NickDiPaoloShow.com, the funniest man alive. Nick DiPaolo, how are you, sir?
Tremendous, Stephen. How are you? You look... can I just say this for your fans? They got to be hockey fans, right? You have a lot of...
Sure.
I don't know.
Alpha
Not
male.
So much.
Does Stephen, is he not the spitting image of Tom Wilson of the Washington Capitals, who's the baddest ass in the league, by the way?
Well, that's high praise.
I'm not Tom Wilson, the senator. He was a dick.
Yes. Stephen, you are an unknown hockey player.
Right.
I know my ass.
I thought I looked like Tom Wilkinson, the actor.
Come on, Gerald.
He's not Patrick Waugh.
This guy, no, thank God he's not. This guy is first of all, he's the toughest guy in the league, and he's a great hockey player. I mean, they rely on him for scoring.
Well, they can bring it up in the control room later, and we'll let the audience be the judge. But thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
I'm just saying, I have a crush on you. Go ahead.
Did you ever watch the documentary on Bob Probert?
Bob Probert.
Did you watch the documentary?
I didn't have to. I sold him his Coke.
That's why he was so fast when he fought.
What a badass he was. I read a list of toughest guys in history. They got him at number 1 on about 10 lists.
A friend of our family, Stu Grimson, had to fight him multiple times.
Stu Grimson?
Yeah, actually, it's funny. It was hockey. Okay, can I do this? I'll just look. I'll just say this story. So Hockey Ministries. This was something when we were kids, where it's like underprivileged kids, and then
in Iran.
And my dad. Yeah, a lot of hockey in Iran. No, they're too busy doing Turkish oil wrestling. Do you see that? They do that in the Middle East. It's shirtless oil wrestling. They're like, yes, we like wrestling, but you need to lube them up. Lube them up for the takedown. So it's hockey. It's like underprivileged kids a lot of the time, and it's a Christian hockey camp. So they do like Bible studies and stuff and teach kids, skill sets, and then they bring in a pro to coach. And my dad was one of the stable coaches, and then one year it was Stu Grimson, and he came in. And he talked about with Bob Probert, because Stu was a tough guy.
Yeah, he was.
He said, and this is true, and I've known people like this, and sometimes I can be this way. But he said, the thing is, with Stu said, with Bob Probert, you have, 80 games in a season? Something like that. He said, you knew whenever you were about to face Bob Probert, his team, it wasn't that he was a good fighter. It was that he was a man with complete disregard for his own personal safety or well-being, and he wasn't going to stop until you put him down. And he said, and living with a man like that in your head for 48 hours is a very difficult life to live.
Yeah, that's called a good fighter. Those qualities you mentioned.
Yeah, but he just, because Stu was a smart guy. Just imagine, this is a guy who was willing to break himself, and he was a good scorer.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of a score, see the little segue there.
That was beautiful.
Nick and I call that a segue.
That was beautiful.
Like the guy who invented the Segway and segued off a cliff. That's how he died, right?
No.
The guy invented the Segway, segued off a cliff.
Can I see footage of that? I haven't jerked off in a long time. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I forgot this is the early part of the show. I'm serious. I'm
in an
sorry.
hour, it'll be fine.
I guess you can't take that out either. This is like streaming, isn't it?
Yeah. So you've heard of Live.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I apologize?
But he's like, what's streaming? What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's live.
I don't know. I don't even know how to tell people to get to your show.
Yeah, I know.
I go, just drive to where and see it live.
Yeah, drive to Dick's Sporting Goods. Yes. The Schenectady Airport. It plays on every screen next to whatever Don Lemon's doing now. Okay, so I'm sorry. We've dragged out. We've wasted your time, but you know what? That's part of it. So Barbie, Mattel, in order to boost inclusivity, just announced. And at one point, you would have thought this was a sketch. All references are available for you at loudwithcrowder.com. This is real. They just announced the release. I feel bad even saying it. Down syndrome Barbie.
Yes.
The world's first Barbie with Down syndrome will give children the opportunity to play with more inclusive dolls.
This doll is breaking barriers by creating the first fashion doll
with retard
Down syndrome,
strength.
Is this real?
allowing more children to project their future through fashion doll play and imagine what is possible.
Mattel, Barbie's parent company, announced the new figures will soon be hitting store shelves.
Well, here's the thing. They really have been going full bore, and Mattel actually announced plans to expand this in the name of diversity before the end of the year with sickle cell Barbie.
Oh, for the love
So that's something they also, look, everyone's involved. Down syndrome Barbie.
Short bus, not included.
Did she have to say?
Come on.
Did she have to say smash through barriers when we all know about special needs strength? I mean, for crying out loud.
I looked at the Barbie and I'm like,
she doesn't look that downsy.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
It looks
How
like
would you
Amy
know?
Schumer Barbie.
Says this is the Down syndrome Barbie, and it's like, here, another Barbie to sell? Like, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of.
Now with more retard.
Yeah. Less Y chromosomes.
Professional assistant not included.
Lena Dunham.
It's so weird. I don't know what to do.
By the way, if you see this or hear this on YouTube, because I'm sure we've already had to hit it, this means that what's going on is still on Rumble, so we don't have to self-censor on YouTube. And it's a live show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Friday only on Mug Club, the rest of the time on Rumble. And we encourage you to watch. We do not get to do this without you. We're funded by viewers like you at Mug Club, unlike NPR, who's funded by tax dollars at gunpoint.
Monkeypox Ken. Can we get to that?
Yes.
That's only fair.
He drives his
It's
convertible.
it's inclusive.
Drives his convertible and skin flakes just flying off.
Can we
Hits
get
Barbie in the face. Yeah. Oh, no, gosh. What do you have, leprosy? No, I went to a Norwegian techno festival.
right? How about the 42% suicide rate, Barbie?
Oh, yeah.
Those?
Yes.
Listen, I'm sorry. If we're going there, let's go there.
It comes with a nice sailor's knot.
Yeah, there's a noose in every room in the Barbie dream house.
When it comes with a little 8-ball that says "Not today."
Look, here's the thing. I have worked with, the special needs people for years.
Yeah,
I volunteer.
me too.
They
I
never
call it
were
dating.
sitting there. Yeah, well, that's just called taking advantage. It's called grooming, Dave. It's called grooming little ladies. None of them ever thought, I don't feel represented.
Right.
They never complained about it. They were totally fine. With their toys.
Because Barbie is
Just
what
like
allows
chubby
me-
girls weren't going, Barbie's too thin.
Right, exactly. I mean, Barbie allows me to live a full life, apparently, is what. Dang it. And he's going to clip this in now. I know soundboard.
I'm marking it down right now.
Damn it. Sorry, dang it.
All right. So you guys can comment if if you have a kid with Down syndrome and you're really happy about Down syndrome Barbie, great. Good for you. I just think that it's stupid.
Yes.
And I don't mean stupid like cool, like, oh, yo, that's stupid. I mean,
that's stupid.
it's unintelligent.
I thought you guys were doing a parody of a commercial.
I know.
I know some of the stuff exists, but that one even went a little.
I mean, yeah, we need it. It was needed, but now we have it. So everything is good. So let's move on to a story that I think is also really important here.
Yeah.
Remember COVID?
Yes.
Remember that? Remember that was a thing? And some of you may not know, some of you who maybe were a little bit younger, the entire world got locked down.
Yeah.
Right? They were locked down. Then there were vaccine mandates. It upended the economy, unemployment to numbers that we've never seen in our lifetime, a fundamental shifting of the economy, all on the word of a few experts and, of course, the lackeys who said trust the science. And I know that right now this isn't super topical, right? And everyone always wants to jump on the trend and the trend and the trend, but I think this is probably the most important subject we cover today. Why? The only way the left wins is if there is no sunlight. They squirm anytime there's transparency. They squirm anytime they're called to the mat to answer for their actions. And they want you to now actually believe, in their complicit media, right, in the industrial entertainment media complex, they want you to believe that they never did all of those things. So let me sort of lead the way here. Halloween 2022, The Atlantic started running cover, right? And that's for the expert class, all the science, right? The science, as they called it, trademarked. They ran an article called "Let's Declare a Pandemic Amnesty." Now, this article implored readers to, quote, forgive the experts for their misguided recommendations and mandates. So these are some of the things they said. We have to put these fights aside and declare a pandemic amnesty. We can leave out the willful purveyors of actual misinformation while forgiving the hard calls that people had no choice but to make with imperfect knowledge. Yeah.
I have to stop him right there. I read the beginning of that article, and I'm like, no, you're lying. You said you were on a hiking trail with cloth masks that you made for your family, that there was a signal that the lead hiker would give if anybody was coming close where you would put the masks on, and you had no idea that cloth masks wouldn't work.
I did a guided tour with them, and it didn't work because they were doing Navy signals. I only know the Air Force signals.
Well, that's apparently true. You did the bicycling stop as opposed
Yesterday, I saw the guy doing this, the bicycle stop. I saw him unironically doing this, and I ran him over.
I was going to say, please tell me you took a hard right into his bike.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
So don't let them tell you that we didn't know these things. We've known it for 100 years. Lockdowns were actually not recommended by the WHO immediately. Sorry, and I know we're going to get into people saying this, but
they weren't the science.
Part.
It was the CDC and it was Fauci.
Exactly.
So let's go to, let's start with now, what they're saying. Okay. These experts versus them. So it's a matter of record and it's irrefutable. And hopefully you can use this with your friends because watch the conversation change. Remember, just don't forget. Don't think, did I dream that? All your friends now who are saying, we didn't know. No, they did know. Those same people at your dinner meeting, at your Thanksgiving dinners were saying, we have to lock down. Can you believe that Republicans are going to spread this? Yeah. Remember, we were providing information at that point in time while the experts were giving you one side. Now they're acting as though they never had access to this information. It's not true. It's just like Fauci when he said AIDS was airborne and other scientists said, no, it's not. Yeah. But he was in a position of authority. So now we have Prime Minister, Blackface in Chief, Justin Trudeau, University of Ottawa on Monday, said that he actually never forced anyone to get vaccinated. Okay, sorry, wrong clip. Here's
All
the right
of the
clip.
scientists and the medical experts and the researchers, not just in Canada, but around the world, understood that vaccination was going to be the way through this. And therefore, while not forcing anyone to get vaccinated, I chose to make sure that all the incentives and all the protections were there to encourage Canadians to get vaccinated. And that's exactly what they did. We got vaccinated to a higher level than just about any other of our peer countries.
Yeah. Yeah, threatening people with jail time and freezing their bank accounts. It was just incentives, like a rapist's gun. What's that? What's that? Bitch, it's incentive.
To sleep with me.
I am an entrepreneur. Haven't you ever heard of quantitative easing, bitch? The point is, this is what they say. It's incentives. Oh, isn't that a nice just term now? These were incentives, freezing bank accounts and ruining your life.
Yeah, that's not an incentive. No.
So let's go back to, they're trying to memory hole you back then. Prime Minister Blackface, who did it like 9 times. The thing about the fact that this guy has been forgiven, it just shows you none of this selective outrage is real. This guy did it more times than you probably wear an outfit, period, in your life, blackface.
More times than I did it.
Yes. Well,
Which is hard to do.
I mean, depends on which years we're taking, which seasons, but, it's certainly close.
Yes.
And we love you for it. So, back then, Trudeau, he actually made it so that people couldn't even go about their day at all without getting the vaccine. This is then.
I had to because of the new rules with the restaurant. They said I better get another dose because I can't go anywhere. I can't do shit.
And more restrictions are on the way. Justin Trudeau is promising vaccine mandates for the federal public service and for travelers.
We're going to make sure in the coming weeks that anyone 12 or older who wants to get on a plane or a train
come to my
be
house.
fully vaccinated.
September 21st of 2021.
Yep.
A year and a half into the pandemic.
He was very proud of it, too.
Yes.
So for him to now say, I never forced anyone. And by the way, let's also, here's another then, so you know. Prime Minister Blackface described, and we're going to get to Fauci, he described people protesting the vaccine mandates, which, by the way, why would you need to protest anything if there's no vaccine mandate, which is what he's saying now. He described the people protesting the vaccine mandate, which is a figment of your imagination, as disgusting, subhuman.
And to Canadians at home, watching in disgust and disbelief at this behavior, wondering how this could have happened in our nation's capital after everything we've been through together, this is not the story of our pandemic, of our country, of our people.
The two worst human beings that I have ever seen in politics, that man and Governor Whitmer in Michigan.
Yeah.
There are people we disagree with. There are people who you can tell just get off on power and abusing it. He's one of them.
Yeah, and he's so weak, he's dangerous.
Yes.
Because he's going to have to do something to make himself look strong, like freezing the bank accounts of truckers and saying that they're disgusting people. Again, I'll give you the timeline, about a year into the pandemic. It's not that we didn't know anything. Come on, are you serious?
Yeah, at that point. Well, guess what? They were removing us from YouTube, from Facebook, from Twitter. If we said that, hey, these lockdowns don't work, the WHO doesn't recommend them. Remember, that was one of the suspensions. No lockdowns, according to WHO, who also denied that, that Taiwan existed.
On the first one, on the very first
another issue then. You know what? Again, this is a PG-13 show. I'm pretty sure I know what Nick's going to say after this clip.
I will not.
And no, you know what?
Do it, Nick.
I think you let your freak flag fly. So, Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland.
Cocksucker!
Whoa.
That's not an insult. She's a lady.
Oh.
That just means she's doing her part.
I thought it was a guy, sorry.
Vowed to, quote, ruin truckers who protested against the vax mandates, which, by the way, they now say never happened, in February 2022.
If your truck is being used in these protests, your corporate accounts will be frozen.
Oh, yeah,
The insurance on your vehicle will be suspended. The consequences are real, and they will bite. It is time for you to go home.
Nick, opinions on that, broad?
Speaking of frozen, she looks like Ted Williams' head. People be going, I live in Canada. Everything's frozen. Go ahead.
Yes,
Freeze
it's
my
true.
bank account. You ugly witch. See that? I cleaned
No,
it up.
say it. Yeah, you don't even. With her, I was hoping you wouldn't.
I don't know.
If you look up, what do you think? Where do you think her picture is next to what in the dictionary, Nick?
Oh, it begins with a C and it ends in a T and it rhymes,
Yeah.
rhymes
Hey.
with cunt.
There you go.
I thought you were going to say punt. I mean,
I was looking for one today.
covered.
That woman,
You
I
got
cannot
it.
stand
Yeah,
her. Thank you, Nick.
PG-13, I guess, but it's a new 13. It's PG-48.
It's the American Psycho PG-13.
Yes.
It's NC-13. It's a hybrid.
Yeah.
13-year-old pirate.
Yes.
Aye. She's a motherless fuck.
gosh.
That's my new favorite go-to. I learned that one from The Sopranos.
And we're going to go to Fauci here, but comment below, especially if you're from Canada. If you're from Canada, look, you are the sample pool. If you're on Rumble, if you're on YouTube, you comment and people will get to see it. The beauty is you can now comment on the mandates. You can now comment on the lockdowns and criticize them because they're trying to say that they never existed. So at least that opens it up to conversation. Let's go to Fauci, everyone's favorite marionette who wants to be a real boy. Here's what he is saying now. In a New York Times interview, Fauci tried to avoid any of the blame for the lockdowns. He said, show me a school that I shut down and show me a factory that I shut down. Never. I never did.
Oh, geez.
I never did. Never, ever did I did. I gave a public health recommendation that echoed the CDC's recommendation, and people made a decision based on that. He also added, something clearly went wrong. I don't know exactly what that was.
It's science.
We can guess.
We can take a guess. That's like a mob boss saying, I never ordered that.
That's right.
hits. Come on.
That's
I never
right.
did that.
It's very mob-like, isn't it? When you think of, we're going to shut down your bank accounts.
Yeah.
We're just going to make it so that you can't purchase anything. We're
Can't
going to make
travel.
it so you can't travel. And, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can't flee this persecution to at least get somewhere where you can live.
Oh, you want to come back? You want to go visit your family in Europe? Well, we're going to lock you down for 14 days in a quarantine. And, maybe you show back up. Maybe you don't. So that's what he's saying now, Fauci. Mm-hmm. Let's go back in case you didn't know, but the record matters. Back then, Fauci was, I wish I loved anything as much as Fauci loved using lockdowns to stop the virus.
I would like to see a dramatic diminution of the personal interaction that we see in restaurants and in bars. Whatever it takes to do that.
Oh, sorry, I had to blow my nose. I have that red tide.
Yep.
Still red tide?
Yep.
You sure it's not COVID?
I have no idea, and I don't care. Here's another clip of then. Again, keep in mind right now, we have no idea. I didn't show me anything that I shut down. Back then, he urged lockdowns to coerce people into getting the vaccination. Here you go.
But lockdown has its consequences. You use lockdowns to get people vaccinated.
So lockdowns to stop the spread of COVID, and then lockdowns to force people to get the vaccine. That, just to be clear, that's two different instances of lockdowns. What he wants to tell you, what he wants you to believe is, show me a factory I shut down, like he's a foreman.
Right, exactly. Yeah. He didn't walk in and order it, but basically he said, look, that's a vaccine passport ad right there. That's basically saying, hey, you want to live your life, you want to go to work, you want to be able to make a living and feed your family and also be able to protect them and provide home and security for them, maybe you should get this jab, otherwise you can't do any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hitler saying, show me a Jewish store I shut down.
It is.
Right, exactly. Yes. That's exactly right. And othering anyone who doesn't get the vaccine.
Sounds much better in Bavarian.
Yeah, no, he was
nice job.
He was very charismatic.
He was a headliner.
Yeah.
That guy could draw.
Yeah, he just showed up to the club. I'm not going to MC. Nein. You think I'm a middler?
On your paper, the room.
Yes. I am not. I'm not feature act. I'm not feature act. A little bit of inside baseball for people who've had to live through the prize-swallowing siege that is the stand-up circus.
If he had only succeeded, we could have avoided all of it.
Exactly, yeah, if he could have
Oh,
been
my God.
No, I mean, as a comedian.
I can't believe I'm playing it safe over here.
Yeah.
we got a priest over here praising the Third Reich.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not.
Gerald's final solution.
If he could
clip it, use it.
A letter from Paul to the Third Reich. Nice work, fellas.
Just let Hitler succeed in the club as a comedian.
Yeah, in the Jew killing club. What's wrong with you? You're making it worse. Yeah, the club. Like we don't know what that means. SS.
Slavery was okay.
We have a handshake. Shake, sub it, pound it. Okay, so that's right.
I hate all of
I get it with Fauci. Look, it takes a big man to admit that he's wrong, but Fauci's 5'5", so you can't expect it of him. And if you're still wondering, you're still wondering, by the way, again, these are the real life consequences of lies from people in positions of authority. Here's the thing: some homeless guy lies, and he has no effect. It's when you centralize power to unelected officials who are free to lie, as it, by the way, serves to mandate policy, that you have a problem. This is why when people say, oh, I'm pro-free speech, but their solution is socialism, I like that people are further along. Look, and by the way, share the show if you're. This is I'm sure has mostly been dumped on YouTube.
Yes.
Is that because of me? Seriously?
No, absolutely not.
Mostly me.
It's usually Gerald.
Yeah,
oh, really?
You can say naughty words. You can't say that the CDC says that the flu is more dangerous than COVID for kids.
The more I find out about Gerald, the more I like about him.
I know.
Yeah,
He's like a Dick Cavett if he were a sociopath.
That's right.
What if I were a sociopath?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's good with anybody.
Well, it's good for us.
It could be like you're a who cares and a sociopath.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good for us, but we'll keep an eye on Child Protective Services. So, what you can't do is let them. This is why when people say, "Hey, why do you bring?" Look, don't let them memory hold this. This is an actual legal, a political, as a matter of policy version of gaslighting. They come out, right? Fauci, and by they, I do mean the left. Well, you got to say left, man. Okay. Is anyone on the right trying to get you to forget about lockdowns and vaccine mandates? Maybe you have a couple, your Mitch McConnells of the world, but I would consider them among the left. They're certainly not allies of mine. They want you to actually believe that they never. In the next clip, I'm going to have to actually blow my nose like Foley. It's like there's remnants. That red tie. They want you to believe that they never did these things. And the media says, good enough for us. Let's just tell people that you never did. Now, here is, again, we talked about the real life consequences. The lockdowns had real life consequences. The vaccine mandates had real life consequences. Remember when they were saying locking down just to be safe, as though there were no risks. We were talking about this. You can go back and check the references. The percentage of children, by the way, reaching expected levels of learning fell dramatically, pre-pandemic, 72% to 59%. Math scores in 2022 saw the largest decrease ever. Suicide attempts skyrocketed from 2019 to 2021. Teen suicide went up by 51%. The economy was devastated in a way that you could have never pictured. The first year of the pandemic, 200,000 more businesses than normal permanently closed. 2020, the worldwide economy shrank by an estimated 8.5 trillion dollars.
Gracious.
That's 9% of the total economy because that little Geppetto son of a bitch decided that he wanted to, but not go into the factory like officer and a gentleman, right? That's what he wants you to think. Like, I never went into the factory and closed it down because of you, the expert, the science, and all your cabal, like Nick says, 10 people in a room.
Yeah.
You devastated the world, and now you want us to think that it was our fault. Like, I guess I just shut down my business permanently. I don't know why I did that. I guess silly me.
They hauled me off to jail when I was open on a Saturday, but I guess that was my fault.
Right.
It's a dry rehearsal for what's coming next, I swear to God. They just want to see how far they could push. Oh, I do. I do too.
No, I do.
But I'm just saying, they wanted to see how much we would obey, how much we would take.
Yeah.
They were fucking laughing.
Yeah.
Remember the first thing they told us? Don't touch our eyes?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
went away like
It was horrible. That's one of my main hobbies.
Yeah, I was going to say, were you touching your eyes before COVID? Were you going, oh, honey, put on your pants. I don't need you. This is what I was touching my eyes after COVID. Yeah. My friends go, who's responsible for the pandemic? I go,
well, it's horrible for me because I like to role play.
Nothing, folks?
I like to role play Clockwork Orange, where I just.
How did that not get a laugh?
Yeah, don't touch your eyes. Sanitize your packages.
Don't punch your wife. I mean, come on.
I mean, look, they know no bounds.
Well, but here's the thing. So the first salvo is basically, we didn't actually say these things. And what we're seeing sprinkled in now is, we just didn't have enough information. Right. Yes, we did.
Yeah, they were saying,
just guessing when we said this.
All of this information was available, and you decided to bury it.
They're the ones saying, follow the science.
Yeah. Right.
They came up with that phrase.
Exactly.
So you had plenty of information.
Exactly. But that's what's most important. I always say it's not what decisions did they make in the absence of information.
Right.
What decisions did they make when that information was available and they denied it anyway? It's not like there were no... This is what they do with global warming, right? 97% of scientists, which is a bullshit statistic. In other words, when they say, hey, the Kyoto Protocol, now is it the Paris Accord, or it was the Montreal Agreement, the Paris Accord, the Kyoto Protocol, I can't remember the exact name.
Louisiana Purchase.
We're now at Paris right now. And what they'll say is, well, all the scientists agreed on this when it devastates the economy of the world permanently. You need to know, green policy would devastate the economy of the world permanently. Mass death and starvation that you can't even imagine. Just take what happened with COVID and apply it to the entire globe and look at the policies. And that information is available right now. They'll say it's only 3%. It's not. What decisions did they make in the face of information that we now know to be accurate anyway? And the only way you learn from it is when you move forward, you say, okay, as many voices as possible so that we can take in wise counsel and make a decision. They eliminated those voices. They eliminated them. Yeah. Don't let them eliminate yours. Don't let them make you believe it. Hit like if you're watching the show right now and you understand the gaslighting that is taking place. It drives me nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You feel better? We got that off your chest a little bit earlier?
I'm pissed now. That's the beauty of it, though. We have empirical evidence now to point to.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
But not if we let them write history.
No, that's right. Just come out and, fucking...
Yeah, as opposed to Gerald, who wants to write history. Jeez.
No.
Yes.
I am far too blonde-haired and blue-eyed for you guys to make these
That's
jokes
true.
about
We
me.
are playing with fire. We are playing with fire.
Oh, my God. That face, you should be guarding a barbed wire fence on the History Channel.
So I think this is this going to be a segment of, now we're going to get into Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. And I would love to hear what you believe, because this has gone back and forth and the opinions kind of change. I like both guys for different reasons, and I have issues with both guys for different reasons. It's not me being a fence sitter. I genuinely could be persuaded, but I think that both of them, I'd much rather have Ron DeSantis in that seat as governor than not. And I don't want to see that guy damaged beyond belief where he can't continue to be an effective governor.
Right.
I also like Donald Trump acting as some kind of an influence, whether he wins the general election or the primary or not. I don't want to see either one of these guys eliminated from the pool yet. That's where I am, and so I just hope that we can have somewhat of a clean primary with more focus on Biden, but someone who's more micro-political than this. It's time for Mr. Third Reich. Gerald knows things.
Want to get AIDS?
Spared all of you. Spared no expense.
Every single time. I asked for upgrades. It never is going to happen, though.
That is the upgrade.
That was the upgrade. You're
Oh,
welcome.
it was the Gerald.
Gerald, we're not running this on a Jim Henson budget, okay?
Fine. I guess my sights were set a little too high. So, look, Trump, like you said, he is turning up the heat a little bit on Ron DeSantis because obviously he's the front runner in the primary. If you're going to punch at somebody right now, as a Republican, that's the only other Republican really that merits anything. And he actually called him unloyal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we have a clip.
He was running against a man that was way up in the polls, leading by a massive amount. That election was over. When I endorsed him, the election was over in Ron's favor. I mean, Ron was getting ready to quit. So, I don't know. I'm very disappointed in him because I'm a loyal person, maybe to a fault. I'm a loyal person. And somebody gets you into office and then you're telling people, well, I don't know if I'll run against the president. You know, I mean, life shouldn't have to work that way, but it does, and that's okay, too. A lot of people said loyalty doesn't mean anything. To me, loyalty means a lot.
He's always talking to reporters like they're a child, like, life doesn't always work that way, but that's okay, too. Sometimes it's about being happy for the things we do have. Grateful.
There's always a little lesson at the end.
Here's a ticker toy. Yeah.
Right. He said life didn't have to be that way. People don't have to have political ambition. Look, I understand what he's trying to say there, but on the same day that actually we covered it, that Joe Biden released the absolute worst "I'm going to run for re-election" campaign that we've seen.
Yeah.
Actually, Trump, and we've got some quotes from him, and I'd like to implore you to read them, said that he might not even participate in some of the primary debates.
But I'm curious to what people think. Here's the thing. He's not entirely wrong on the loyalty issue. Now, I don't believe in blind loyalty to one guy.
Correct.
But I do understand here's the thing. Donald Trump's not a liar. Donald Trump is a bullshit artist, like a car salesman, right? Like, he was going really badly. He was about to quit. Well, that's not true. Right. But it is true that Donald Trump did help Ron DeSantis in his campaign.
Oh, for sure.
He did throw some weight behind him. And you know what? DeSantis at that point did accept that support, likely knowing full well that Donald Trump was going to be running for office. So I can see why Donald Trump thinks that's disloyal. I also understand that Donald Trump says it's just business, so he does want it both ways. But I don't think it's completely invalid.
When Trump said, I'm a loyal person, I think Stormy Daniels did a spit take somewhere.
She's always doing spit takes.
I can do that better. Let's do it again.
Let's do that again.
Yeah.
Let me fill my mouth again. Dave, Dave, come up here.
There we go.
She did a spit take with someone in a clapper.
I'm a loyal person.
So the same day Biden announced.
No. I said that you have to read the Trump quotes.
Yeah, I don't.
I read that, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Already.
Sorry.
This is what Trump said.
Oh, you were setting me up for it. All right. Okay.
I threw you a soft lob.
All right. Fine. Sorry. I see that everybody is talking about the Republican debates. But nobody got my approval. Nobody got my approval. I know some are asking, did some people? No people at all. None. Certainly not the best people. My people. When you're leading by seemingly insurmountable numbers, folks, and you have hostile news networks with angry Trump and MAGA-hating anchors asking, quote-unquote, questions, why subject yourself to being libeled and abused? Okay. He's not fully wrong about, he's right to point out the media, but we also are the party of discussing ideas. And I think it's important. We have always had primaries for a reason. So, yeah, I think that's silly. I think if you could keep the calling out the media, which he does really effectively, and also show up to debate and not crap on DeSantis.
By saying this, though, isn't he giving people reasons, the people who say he comes with too much baggage? It's almost kind of...
Yeah, that's
right.
That's the big thing. So that actually leads into this. Look, in the Republican primary, Trump is actually doing much better than DeSantis, right, during the polling. So 46% versus 31%. Trump has a commanding lead. That's 15 points, right? But if you get into the general, when you start to compare him versus Biden and DeSantis versus Biden, Trump actually loses by 3.1% if you believe polling, and DeSantis wins by 1.2%, right? DeSantis leads Biden in 5 of the 6 battlegrounds.
But here's the reason people don't trust it. Donald Trump won, was it 18 or 19 out of 20, 21? I would never vote for Donald Trump. So I'm not saying that DeSantis doesn't have a better chance. I'm just saying that if DeSantis is looking to woo Trump people to his side, pointing to polling numbers is not going to change a damn thing because those people don't trust them.
Yeah, they absolutely don't trust them. And, I think the Democrats in some ways want Trump to win, but that's also playing with fire for them.
Right.
Because they feel like, because it would be a full court press in the media against him. DeSantis doesn't have the traction in the media that Trump does. Nope. Trump was a draw. Every time you mentioned him, you got tons of views, tons of clicks, tons of people watching, and on CNN they got 12 people instead of 10.
Right.
But everywhere else it was Trump, Trump, Trump. DeSantis doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And so maybe they're looking for the draw, but then they want him to go away because they'll just absolutely kill him. They can't do that with DeSantis in general.
They had a dinner.
Wait, did you say the media can't do that?
With DeSantis, they can't.
They absolutely can.
But he doesn't.
They're going to make him a draw.
He's not as bombastic. Like, he's not as entertaining.
It doesn't matter though. One thing, they're going to attack him,
They'll attack, but it won't have the same effect.
You can either become a draw as a Republican. Look, one of two ways: sort of professional wrestling, Donald Trump, just a bull in a china shop, or if you are, Carly Fiorina is an example, and to my everlasting shame, you can admonish me. I supported her in the primary. She was on our show
for a minute. She was
5 minutes before she broke out as a star. Then she hired the Mitt Romney advisors.
Yeah.
But she gained traction not by being bombastic, but by by being surgical-like in her precision and just cutting up people in the media.
And then she went away from it.
Right. Well, she went away because of her advisors, not because of her ability. So DeSantis could become a draw if he's not bombastic, but he is so effective that he drives the media nuts. He could do it because they're going to have all guns aimed at him.
There's another way of becoming a Republican star. You date Lindsey Graham for a month.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes you a star.
It doesn't make you a star. It makes you a cabana boy.
It's inclusive.
Yes.
Well, so
it
look,
shows you're not afraid of the Google.
Paul Ryan's his P90X partner.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, look, DeSantis is actually...
No, it'd be more insanity workout they probably do with Sean T, right?
Yeah.
How come all the high... They had a party with the donors, with the biggest donors, and
you know stuff. I'm cutting you off.
DeSantis was in Asia, right? So he's in Japan right now, and he had some interactions with the Japanese media on the intention to run for president.
Okay.
So Tim, if you could run that clip for us.
We want
What the hell was that?
What happened?
Yeah, I'm sorry. New guy Carl is having a bit of issues cutting clips.
Wait, Carl Pagan?
Yeah, Carl Pagan needs some work on his editing. Look, let me go check it out real quick.
Right now?
Okay, yeah.
Hey, Carl. We just had a clip go out on air that was way too loud. So when you cut these things, you got to make sure it's at the right level, normalize it so that we don't blow people's eardrums out.
Sorry, Tim. Won't happen again.
All right, don't let it happen again.
All right. Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, let's make sure. But anyway,
you're right?
look here.
Some weird.
It's
Where'd you find him? Indeed.
We found the clip though, right? We got the.
We have the right clip.
So this is him talking about
DeSantis in a potential presidential run in Tokyo. Yeah.
Well, if I did that in Tokyo, people would probably say, "Why didn't you do it in Florida?" So no announcement. But I basically say, I got reelected in November. We had a big landslide win. So no announcements prior to the end of the legislative session. So just stay tuned.
Okay.
Yeah.
To which the reporter said, "Oh no announcements! How can this be?
Why are you here? You go home.
We are bringing you in to make a major announcement. I have an old friend here. Bring a great no announcement, not even little announcement. Sorry, so close to West.
Do not take to Zero no sushi. No.
No. You get no needle. None for you. You bring a great shame. Hey, look, on CNN, they have Grimace. All right.
Aww, boo. Yeah. So, look, by the way, just so you know, the legislative session in Florida ends May 5th. So if he's hinting at when an announcement might come, then we should expect it here in the next week or so.
I'd like to know, and by the way, smash that Rumble button if you're washing right now. And we've told you that Rumble has been the subject of DDoS attacks. So anything you can do to share the show. We'll be releasing some more lost tapes, by the way, on audio on Spotify and Apple, where it's just old. We found these old sketches from Nick used to be a guest when this show was syndicated on radio, and we would fill the commercial breaks with random sketches, like 30 minutes, so you can go and that's exclusively on audio. So I do want to know, though,
people love them.
Where you line up. And this is the thing, too, like either run or don't. DeSantis is doing a lot of things by the book, which runs people the wrong way. Like, I don't know, an exploratory committee. Donald Trump came down the escalator. He was like, screw you, I'm running.
Yes.
And it was refreshing.
Yes.
DeSantis needs to borrow, if he wants to woo them, a little bit of that refreshing out of the box. And I'm telling you, I've seen this with all these Republicans. They come up like a contender, then they hire the people, they start acting like their champion. If Ron DeSantis does that and he's surrounded by the Jeb Bush people, he's going to lose.
Let's cut out all the guesswork and call Soros and see who he's going to put.
Yeah, what's ask right now?
You know what I'm saying? Or the 10 people in the room
have you ever tried to
that run
talk
the
with
country.
Soros?
I have.
All right. So now, this, do we have a stinger for this?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. So now we're actually going to go to, you may not know this, but San Francisco may repeal the ban on doing business with red states, which, of course, the ban led to city contracts becoming incredibly expensive.
Good.
But who would want to do business with San Francisco at all? Statistically, we're going to get to this. This brings us to the golden state of crime.
Oh, sorry, I was singing.
By the way, I don't know if we have time. I don't know if we have time for this. If we're going to do the Kevin Bacon and Gay William.
I mean,
we're already 45 minutes in.
We could get through this.
We want to rattle it off quickly.
Yeah, we'd probably rattle it off.
You guys in the chat below, how much Gay William is going to be on the show? Part of it, but it's mainly going to be on Mud Club.
It has to be on Mud Club
because he is gay, he is conservative, he's Cuban, he is to the right of Attila the Hun. There is no way.
You just described DeSantis.
I always knew.
Yes.
He sounds a little Paul-ish.
So gay, so sorry, so gay. I see you at a parade with 10,000 people. Good for you, DeSantis. No announcement. Oh, good for you.
How do you learn to do that?
I don't know. It's a skill like anything else, but unfortunately,
was your grampy in World War II? Was he stuck in a rut?
Oh no, I had a French-Canadian grandfather. They all dodged. So
they got the easy beaches like Juneau and Sword.
Oh yeah, you ever seen the video of Juneau Beach? So it's like, you know, we had Omaha. Omaha and was it Gold? Was the United States
one of them? Yeah,
Gold, Omaha Beach, and then Canada had Juneau Beach, and they had us watch because there were cameras back then. You know, like the Flintstones with like a pterodactyl. Like,
absolutely.
This job sucks. So there were cameras, and Omaha, and of course it was like Saving Private Ryan, blown up right away, and they had us watching the videos in high school. So we're going to show you the invasion of Juneau Beach, the Canadian troops, and we warn you, it's very disturbing, and it's just the boat door opens, zzz, and they just walk out into the mist.
It's like,
I know plenty died later on, but the point is they weren't really paying attention. They were like, what do we do about Juneau Beach? Who's coming? The Canadians? I don't know. Put down some gum. Who gives a shit?
Right. You pan over to Omaha and it's Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
It's like, son of a...
And Juneau guy's like, I think I twisted my ankle before.
It's like
sand.
It's like Baywatch. It's like the opening of Baywatch. Some hot German broad jogging with
and
big
we
tits.
appreciate the Canadian soldiers.
Of course we do. No,
it was
no,
Utah
absolutely.
and Omaha. That's what
it was Utah and Omaha?
The two hardest ones. I think
and then
Utah,
Gold was at anyway,
Utah, Juneau, Gold, Sword. I think that's...
And Malibu. That was a bitch.
Yeah, that really was. Well, you lose signal in that canyon every time.
Yeah.
I think Bert Convy got shut up. What?
2
Here's
miles,
one for you.
2 miles inland, Canadians are like, the sand gets everywhere.
Oh, my gosh.
I met a lot of the Canadians when I did the USO tour in Afghanistan.
Yeah, back then they were tough guys.
Absolutely.
They were tough
loved
guys.
Loved them.
Yeah.
Just not in World War II.
They had importance, Willie.
Just kidding, Canadians.
Gold Beach brings us back to the golden state of crime, the wonderful state of California.
Look at that.
Look, why would you want to do business in a city where you have inventory locked away? So to give you an idea of what's happening in San Francisco, look at Target, and they have to treat the merchandise like the Hope Diamond.
No audio on this.
Oh, there's no audio.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look what's in it. It's hairspray, Pert Plus, Colgate.
Don't call yourself Target.
Yes.
Start there, stupid.
Yeah. By the way, not locked up, small condoms.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you would know.
Plenty available.
They have the Crest toothpaste locked up. But
yeah.
plenty of AIM. That's just at the front. No one.
Yeah. AIM. Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
I used that because I was poor when I lived in New York City. I had canker sores for like 5 months. My dentist said, how do you have so many canker sores? I said, well, he goes, what toothpaste do you use? I go, this. He goes, AIM, but get that shit out of here. That's toxic.
I use it as lube. Oh, you should see that.
Oh, that makes sense why you ended up in the
My
emergency
dentist said,
room
get
all
that shit out of here.
And by the way, of course, theft, burglary, they were all up dramatically in San Francisco
crime,
last year.
Why is that?
Yeah,
and who's doing it? The Irish or the Polish?
Yeah. And elsewhere in town, hoodlums, they took over the Bay Bridge. And I know what you're saying. What do you mean? No, they took over the Bay Bridge.
The
I mean,
bridge.
there were some people there? No, think of the bridge as it exists.
Yeah.
And it's not taken over. The opposite of that, which connects it to Oakland. Here you go.
Sideshow on the Bay Bridge involving dozens of bikers blocked traffic bound for San Francisco. Video posted to Twitter shows nearly 100 motorcycles stretched across all lanes of the Bay Bridge Sunday afternoon. Witnesses tell KTVU that as traffic slowed down and stopped altogether, bikers began a sideshow and some riders drove in circles on their back wheels in the middle of the Bay Bridge.
Okay, now I know what you're thinking, Nick. I can see what Nick's thinking. He's thinking, okay, you conquer and take over my bridge once. Shame on me. But this isn't the first time it's happened. Here's another one from last December.
Now look at this from late Friday night. Several cars spinning donuts across all lanes eastbound.
That was
on the
me
Bay
trying to
Bridge.
get home in
And
high school
traffic
after a
backed
party.
up as people stood around the sideshow. The CHP
Tobin
hasn't
Bridge.
said if arrests were made or
No,
any
that was
citations were issued.
That was Lizzo's driver just fished.
I said take a left, bitch. Oh, shit.
I would honestly, I've have you been over the Bay Bridge before?
Yes, I have.
Oh my goodness.
Many
One,
times.
it is hell to get to because it's just traffic jammed.
I thought you meant Oakland.
It's expensive. You're trying to get out of Oakland at this point, right? And not get shot. You can see freedom just across the water. Not anymore, though.
Yeah.
And then you get up there, if I had a weapon, I would probably be tempted to start shooting because you're that frustrated just to get over the bridge, much less having people close it down. And by the way, people...
All right, we've gone through all the statistics. This was just a little bit of fun. Would you want to do business in those conditions? And now they have to do business with the other states who do things, the exact opposite way as them. So New York Times, Gavin Newsom, California, they want the rest of the country to be New York, San Francisco. Can't we just be results-oriented at some point in time?
I think so.
And if he gets even one vote, will people agree with me on my theory about the election?
Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, even if he gets...
about the beaches and how just difficult they were.
Oh, is this from World War II?
Yeah.
All right, let me see it. Is this Juno Beach?
This is Juno.
Okay, so this is so picture Saving Private Ryan.
Right now it's
and this is the Canadian beach. The doors are already open. Again, I appreciate that they went out there.
Smiling and
Yeah,
looking
guys
around.
smiling.
Hey guys,
The guy has a lunch pail.
What are you kidding me? It's like he's going to Sandals Resort.
now single file. Tommy, stop
I hear they got great shrimp.
Yeah,
Great shrimp.
Jamaica hedonism, too.
Look at this. Look at this. I remember they told us in high school, this is very disturbing. And I was watching this going, wait, I saw Saving Private Ryan. Is this?
It's not worse.
Did they lie?
Ted, it's safe. Get the hibachi.
Who's got the football?
The Canadian military. It's nerf or nothing. So this has been Golden State of Crime. Okay, so actually, I want to have him ready before we go to Mug Club. So first, let me set this up for you before he comes in. We're about to go to Mug Club. And by the way, Nick DiPaolo, of course, you can go to nickdipaloshow.com. His show is 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Go see his live shows May 12th in Florida, Daytona Beach, May 19th, May 20th. We're about to discuss the topic that I really wanted to discuss today.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a fan But Kevin Bacon, and we're going to bring in Gay William.
Yeah.
Again, you guys should know, and just let us know in the chat. Let Gay William know you love him, because this is a tough life to live. A Latino gay conservative. This weekend, Kevin Bacon posted a TikTok of himself dancing with a shirt saying that drag is art, drag is right. We have another newer clip, but let's start with this one.
And I keep my side of the street clean. You wouldn't know what I mean. Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a ghost.
All right, so we're going to be talking about that and more on Mug Club, but it's time for his wonderful stinger, so it's going to be a Gay William segment. Senor William, do you prefer the new mask?
I look like a Mexican.
do you have his microphone going?
Oh, no, it's going, it's going.
Do you like the mask? What did you say, William?
I look like a Mexican.
Well, yeah, I know. Appreciate it, but YouTube, we're going to continue with Gay William. It is. Thank you so much. If you're watching on Rumble, by the way, hit this one.